But before we get to TikTok, I just want to say a couple words about some Democratic insanity regarding Israel and the Middle East, okay? Another problem. First, Chuck Schumer, who is the Jewish Senate leader from Brooklyn, just called for regime change in Israel. That's right. In case you missed it, he's decided to interfere with Israeli politics by calling for Prime Minister Netanyahu to step down. Go figure. This is in the middle of the war. Pure insanity. Meddling in Israeli politics. I mean, if anybody bothers to delve into the war story, they will see that Netanyahu and the IDF and the whole of Israel is handily winning the war against Hamas. And if U.S. politicians would just leave them alone, they'd finish the war in southern Gaza, including Rafah, in the next few months. But Joe Biden, Chuck Schumer, and Anthony Blinken and other Democrats keep mouthing off and openly criticizing Israel. By the way, Israel didn't start the war. Just in case you forgot, Hamas killed 1,200 people on October 7th in an awful massacre. But Israel will finish the war, and they will annihilate Hamas. So calling for Netanyahu's resignation is just sheer stupidity. And repeated calls by President Biden about humanitarian aid, well, that misses the point entirely. Oh, and there's another story. Samantha Power, the administrator for USAID. She told Politico that she criticized Netanyahu to his face about non-compliance with international humanitarian rule of law, whatever that means. Power, of course, another soft on Iran Obama alumnus. Now, Hamas controls nearly all of the aid distribution in Gaza. They hoard it for themselves, then they sell the rest on the black market for exorbitant prices that ordinary Palestinians and others cannot afford to pay. So instead of nagging Israel to submit some kind of detailed war plan that will not injure one single civilian, why not just let them do what they do best, annihilate Hamas? By the way, speaking of nagging, whatever happened to the Joe Biden Ramadan ceasefire hostage release plan? Well, it never happened. Why? Because Hamas wouldn't sign on to it. Then there's another related story. On Wednesday, the Biden administration reapproved a sanctions waiver that unlocks upwards of $10 billion in frozen funds for the Iranian government. This is about letting Iran get paid for selling electricity. But, of course, money is fungible, and it will go straight to their terror budget, which is to say Hamas. Probably the single most inexcusable decision by Joe Biden's whole administration was to lift the Iranian sanctions in the first place, those sanctions imposed by the Trump administration. And then they allowed Iran to accumulate oil revenues and foreign exchange reserves that gave them the resources to back up Hamas and their hideous October 7th massacre of 1,200 people. And then there's another story where a bunch of Democratic senators want to withhold military weapons from Israel. You know, you got to ask yourself, which side are these Democrats on? It's a simple question. And to this day, the Bidens say nothing to China, even though the CCP is financing two wars against the U.S. by buying Russian and Iranian oil. And the Biden administration is still seeking some kind of nuclear peace deal with Iran. Utter insanity. You know, there's no reason to make this Israel story any harder or more complicated than it needs to be. Let the Israeli administration and the IDF do what it knows how to do best, to crush Hamas and the rest of Gaza. And ironically, one guy who would benefit from this is Joe Biden. But for some reason, he and his crew don't seem to understand how wonderfully simple life can be. All right, just wanted to get that in. Now,